Treasurer Jim Chalmers and Finance Minister Katie Gallagher holding a pre-budget news conference.
Government. We will build on the substantial progress that we have made when it comes to budget repair over the first 2 years and our first two budgets. And I wanted to take a moment to remind you here of our record. The first surplus in 15 years with a $100 billion turnaround of what we inherited. The second is in reach, and if we achieve it, this would be the first back-to-back surplus in almost 2 decades. We have returned 88% of revenue upgrades versus around 40% for the former government. We have found around $50 billion of savings over our first couple of budgets. The underlying position is around $200 billion better at MyEFO over the 5 years to 26-27. We've made sure that debt peaks almost 10 percentage points lower than what we inherited. Debt's around $165 billion lower at the end of the medium term compared to what we inherited in the pre-election outlook. And annual inflation is now almost half at 3.6% of what we inherited in the June quarter of 2022. So that is our record when it comes to budget repair and responsible economic management, and we are proud of that record because of difficult decisions taken by our government, whether it's banking upward revisions, whether it's finding $50 billion in savings. The budget is in much better nick than the budget that we inherited almost precisely 2 years ago. There will be more spending restraint in this budget, and there will be more savings in this budget as well, and Katie will run through one of those in a minute. But this is not the time for scorched earth austerity. It would not be wise when people are doing it tough and when the economy is soft for us to slash and burn in this budget. This is not the time to slash and burn in the budget when people are doing it tough and when growth in our economy is weaker than we would like it to be. Now, there's no shortage of opinions at this time of year about the budget position. We see that in the papers almost every day, and we welcome that because it helps us to chart a responsible middle course between those who want us to slash and burn in the budget and those who think that it should be some kind of free-for-all of spending. We are charting a responsible middle path. We are striking the right balances in the budget that we will hand down in 8 days' time. Another point that is often lost is what matters here is not just the quantity of spending in the budget, but the quality of the spending in the budget, the timing of that spending, the sequencing of that spending. And that's why some of the oversimplified rules of thumb that you'll see from some commentators don't perfectly capture the sorts of balances that we are trying to strike in this budget, our third budget, in 8 days' time. Some extra spending is unavoidable, some of it is automatic, some of it is desirable, all of it is warranted. And you look at the last couple of days, the indications we've given about debt relief for students, paying students who are doing their prac, big investments in Western Sydney that we've spoken about in this room before. Recognising Western Sydney is a key part of Australia. It's a very important part of our economy, and it will be a central focus of our budget as well. All of that spending in the budget will be warranted. Now, some of the deficits in the budget will be a little bigger than they were at MyEFO. Some of them will be a little better. We will print 5 bottom lines this year and the subsequent 4 years. Some of the deficits will be a little bigger. Some of them will be a little better, and you will see that on the night. But overwhelmingly, what you will get is a sense of the really quite substantial progress that we have made since the budget we inherited a couple of years ago. We have spent a big chunk of our time cleaning up the mess, and we've made good progress. And that's why we won't be taking lectures from our opponents who left us debt and deficit as far as the eye could see. They left us higher inflation. They left us a bigger interest bill on that debt. We've made good progress against the benchmark that they left us with almost exactly 2 years ago.